Hello, what's going on guys? Lordky here, and today I want to talk to you about the Namekian race, and if it is a good idea to keep them as a race to start off with them. Before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe, it costs you nothing. And let's discuss. So, the biggest thing as a noob Namekian is that you start off at Namek. Hold on. There's a little thing called the Dragon Balls, you might have heard of them. Essentially, in the planet Namek, there are 7 of these mother lovers. And if somebody wields one of the balls, PvP is on for everyone in the zone to fight that one guy that's holding the ball. I explained that terribly. Let me try and explain that again. Whoever is holding a ball, everyone can attack that person, and that person holding the ball can attack everyone. So essentially, it can create a dynamic where Namekians genuinely can't even leave their home without being attacked. And it's crazy. You don't see this problem that much anymore just because the game is way more tame than before. But it was a genuine problem, and it's why there wasn't a lot of Namekians back in the day. It was just such a hassle for people to literally just leave the house that people just opted to Saiyans or Earthlings for that matter. But in terms of Namekians as a whole, there is a rock, paper, scissors effect. So we have Namekians who have over time shifted to being more for PvE or player versus enemy, player versus boss, where essentially these are the race. This is the race where you want to fight bosses, you want to fight enemies. You don't really care about PvP, you don't really care about anything else other than just grinding. That's why people favor Namekians a lot, because PvP has gone to actual garbage for the game for the longest time. I forgot what exact point I left off on. I think I left in the general area of PvP, which in that case, PvP for Namekians isn't the greatest. Reason being is you probably already know this, maybe as a seasoned vet or maybe just as a regular player. Namekians don't have anything in terms of stunning. So Earths will have solar flare, they have hypnosis, they have teleport. Saiyans, they have time. Namekians, they don't have anything. The closest thing that they have to a stun is the Mafuba, which stuns the opponent for maybe about like a second, but it really does not much. There's also the Transform Chocolate, which it's in league with the with the stuns of the other races, but it's nowhere near in the same like class. So what Transform Chocolate does is essentially for a brief period of time, whoever this spell, whoever this is cast on turns into chocolate, obviously, and they aren't able to hit more than like 1 damage for maybe about some seconds. I want to say somewhere between like 5 to 10 seconds, where the victim is only able to hit 1 damage. But the thing is, they still have access to all of their skills. So it really doesn't matter, because if all of the other races are able to stun you, who gives a shit if I'm only able to hit ones for a brief period of time? And you would think after 5 years of having such a useless skill, we would get, oh man, we would get something that like Namekians could actually use. No, 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 no. Even in late game, we literally just have chocolate version 2, where essentially this actually does a good amount. Let's be fair here. It actually does, it deals damage, and it quote unquote seals them in a jar. But the thing is, the victim, the person that you put this spell under, still has access to all of their attacks, meaning they can still attack you. So Namekians PvP wise have generally been shafted, and it's no secret. And at this point, we can probably say it's damn right deliberate. So if you're playing this game and you want a PvP build, you're not playing as a Namekian. There are some instances where Namekians are favored in PvP, where, especially in late game, if you're a strong ass Namekian, it genuinely doesn't fucking matter. Especially with modding nowadays. I know T-Mobile doesn't give a rat's ass about it. Essentially, you can click players in the map and you can teleport right to them and just kill them instantly. It's honestly insane how that happens. And at that point, if you are using mods, I think Namekians are the best in terms of PvP because you can just fucking zoom across the screen and kill everyone. But the thing is, we're rating this on the base game, so we're gonna say Namekians are the worst in PvP. And even with mods, yeah, it's just a weird territory to go under. Where Namekians shine, though, where Namekians shine is their ability to fight bosses. So essentially, we all see this skill, right? The summon bird. The bird is the greatest thing to Namekians. I genuinely, if there was one thing, how do I word this? If there was one thing that is a staple to Namekians, it's genuinely the summon. I would get rid of the new combo in a heartbeat if it means that we could keep the summon. Here's why. When you fight a boss, right? Any boss, your summon deals true damage no matter what. What do I mean by this? Let's say if you're fighting a boss that has a reduced damage buff, right? So let's say you're hitting 1 million HP. The boss you're fighting makes you reduce 20% of HP. So you're hitting about 800k HP. Your bird, however, negates all of that. So if they're hitting 200k, they're going to hit 200k no matter what. This also works in PvP as well, where if somebody is using a shield, your bird actually penetrates through the shield no matter what. This also works in other instances of PvP, where if somebody has a reduction damage build, the bird actually freaking penetrates through that. And not even the surface of that. If you're fighting somebody that has like a void, your bird will never miss. You might miss 100% of the shots that you take. Your bird will get the rebound and hit them. And hit every single shot. He'll get the putback on every single shot because your bird is amazing. The thing with that, though, there is a caveat because Namekians always have to have a caveat. The bird can actually be killed. So if you look at, let's see, if you actually toggle into the indicator, also subscribe if you're not. If you toggle into the indicator, you can actually see the bird itself and their HP. The bird actually takes, I believe, 80% of your stats at level 7. I believe so. I could be wrong. And then each level before that's like 10% less. So level 1, it would be like 30% of your stats. So it would hit 30% of what you would normally hit for an attack. So if I hit 1,000,000 and my bird is level 7, it would hit 80% of my attack. I could be wrong though. Could be wrong. Definitely fact check me. Hit me up in the comments. I don't give a bro. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's just what I've observed from the years. Let's also go down the stat sheet. So, actually, before we do that, so is a Namekian the best choice for you? I'd say it's definitely a solid pick if you just want to keep to yourself. But if you want to do something all around, I always think a Saiyan is always a good first pick for the game. Namekians are more so if you know what you're doing in the game and you want to have more of a focus on PvE. So fighting enemies instead of players. The thing is though, I do want to say Namekians have some of probably the coolest kit possible, but it doesn't matter because nobody uses these skills anymore. So Namekians have access to the Makanko Sapo, which is special beam cannon. Honestly, this game wouldn't be as iconic as it is to me if Makanko Sapo wasn't in this game. Essentially, obviously, it's how you expect it. You know, you special beam cannon, you put the fingers to the face, and you shoot a laser, right? And the coolest part, oh, the what the sucky part is, it takes away all of your ki. But the coolest part is you can deal a major amount of damage. Obviously in today's game, there's so many players with a fuck ton of HP. So this skill automatically became obsolete. Also with ties, also with stuns, this move can't even be used unless you want to be stunned for 5 seconds to shoot it up for the 5 second startup time, and then getting stunned on top of that. It's just for a game as quote unquote fast paced as Ngoc Wrong, you're not going to be able to do anything with this skill anymore. It is nice to, just shoot it around just to show it's there. But realistically, Namekians can do away with this. The only really necessary skills is going to be summon and new combo. That's it, in my opinion. And then shield, obviously. But shield is shield. Okay, one of the biggest things that Namekian has access to is Masenko. Obviously, every single race has a blast. One of the things I want to point out is that you're not gonna like this when you see it. Level 7 Masenko is 160% damage, right? Level 7 Demon Punch is 155% damage, meaning that Masenko and Demon Punches are pretty much the same. There's a 5% difference between the two. You genuinely can't really tell the difference, in my opinion. What Masenko thrives well in is a very extremely fast blast. Just because the damage output is weak, that shouldn't fool you from it being a bad move, because it's not a bad move at all. Masenko thrives in a huge amount of instances. Part being, let's see, let me show you right now. There have been a lot of times when, as a noob, I couldn't get a kill in. And if I were to punch an enemy, they would kill me instantly. With Masenko, I'm able to shoot a range, and I'm able to shoot a blast and kill an enemy faster than he can, because enemies' blasts take longer than a punch. So going close combat isn't favorable in the beginning. With Masenko, you are able to shoot blasts as much as your heart is content. And you won't get killed as much. Theoretically speaking, obviously if you're provoking enemies, you might get flak on both sides and you still might die. Some of the drawbacks to Namekians. I don't think I explained the Masenko thing well. I'll have to definitely let me know in the comments. I'll have to probably revise that part. I apologize. One of the drawbacks to Namekians is that majority of them need to have a very large key base. Now, before you say anything, I honestly recommend to just not upgrading your key base genuinely at all. It really depends on the goal that you set out as a Namekian. I know in the general stats guide that I made, I said, Namekians generally have a high key base. I genuinely don't think you should be upgrading key that much as a Namekian. All of our key-based attacks, such as like Makanko, like they're already obsolete anyway, so there's really no point in either upgrading. There's no point in upgrading the skill, and there's no point in getting key so you can upgrade it. Same thing with the summon. So summon actually consumes a percentage of key, right? So let's say if you have 10,000 ki, right? 80% of that is 8,000. A level 5 bean gives you 8,000 ki. You see where I'm going with this? Where essentially, if you have your ki base as low as possible, you're able to heal up your ki very, very quickly. And then by doing so, you can access your skills at a much rapid pace. Because look at this, look at this. Let me show you. 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 Let me pop a bird real quick, and then I will also pop a shield. By the way, if nothing's making sense, please let me know. I'm super tired while making this, I'm not gonna lie. So, let me pop a bird. Remember, bird takes 80% of ki consumption, and then shield takes about 33%. So if I were to pop a bean right now, I'm actually able to access my shield and my bird after using one bean. That's really, really, really good, especially in high intense situations. Also, it's not activating because it didn't work, because I don't think I had enough ki. The game probably thought I had enough ki, but I didn't. So it's generally best to use the shield first and then bird. But that's just best practices, obviously. But yeah, that was a more in-depth talk on why Namekians are what they are, and if you so choose to pick them. Please let me know if this video is lacking anything. I will gladly step up on the video quality if it means it's a better guide. I think I just wanted to make this video just because I haven't done a video in a while. Don't let the upload dates fool you. Your boy hasn't posted much. But I plan to make like a Friday video of this series once every Friday. I think Majin Buu is going to be happening in about an hour, which is really cool. But that's about it. Lord of like, Lord subscribe, Lord of peace. See ya.